8 vegetables seniors should never eat. Health risks exposed. Imagine this. You're 75, sitting at your kitchen table, a steaming plate of veggies in front of you. Peas, spinach, maybe a roasted pepper. Foods you've loved for years, trusted as your health's best friends. You've heard it all your life. Eat your vegetables, they're good for you. But what if I told you that right now, at 65, 75, or 85, some of those same greens could be quietly betraying you? Not healing, harming, spiking your blood sugar, stressing your kidneys, igniting joint pain you can't shake. Shocking, right? It's true, one of these culprits might be in your fridge this very moment, waiting to trip you up. Welcome, dear friends, to a wake-up call you won't forget. I'm your guide, a counselor who spent decades helping seniors like you navigate health's twists and turns, keeping you strong, steady, alive. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 8 vegetables seniors should never eat, or at least rethink hard. These aren't just warnings, they're revelations about how your body, after 50, processes food differently, turning old allies into silent risks. Kidney strain, inflammation, fatigue. These aren't just aging, they're signals we can answer. Why stay till the end? The last 2 veggies are jaw droppers, everyday staples hiding dangers so sneaky they'll change how you fill your plate. I'll share stories, like my client Ruth, who banished bloating at 80, and a twist that'll flip your food fears into power. Hit subscribe, tap that bell. Let's protect your golden years, one bite at a time. Here we go. Peas, the sugar sneak. Let's start with a shocker. Peas, the sugar sneak you'd never suspect, even at 85. Picture those sweet little green pearls tumbling into your soup or casserole, small, vibrant, bursting with that gentle sweetness you've loved since childhood. They seem perfect, don't they? Packed with protein, fiber, a splash of color on your plate. I used to scoop them up too, thinking I was doing my body a favor. But here's the sting that creeps up after 50. Peas can spike your blood sugar like a candy bar, leaving you foggy, tired, and achy in ways you might not connect to that innocent bowl. I met Ruth, 80, a gardener whose backyard was a canvas of blooms and vines. Her pea patch, her pride. She'd sit on her porch, shelling a bowl, her hands steady, her laugh like sunshine cutting through the morning mist. "These are my baby," she'd say, popping one in her mouth, her eyes crinkling. But last spring, that sunshine dimmed. "I'm dragging," she told me one cloudy day, her voice low, her spade untouched by the shed. "Legs ache like I've run a mile, stomach's off, bloating I can't shake." She'd shuffle to her roses, winded, her joy fading. "Thought it was just the years piling on," she said, her fingers tracing a pod, her spirit heavy. Her doctor ran tests, blood sugar spiking after meals, joints flaring, digestion grumbling. "Peas," she gasped, incredulous. "Oh yes, Ruth, those sneaky peas." Here's why they sting. Peas pack a high glycemic load. Unlike spinach or broccoli, they break down fast in your gut, flooding your system with sugar. At 65, 75, 85, your insulin sensitivity wanes. Your body can't handle those spikes like it did at 30. Ruth felt it, crashes that left her napping by noon, fatigue that dulled her green thumb, a creeping risk of diabetes shadowing her days. "I'd eat a handful and feel wiped," she said, puzzled. "Then there's purines, natural compounds in peas that turn into uric acid." For Ruth, that meant twinges of gout in her toes, a sharp fire she limped through, blaming age. "Felt like needles," she winced. And it doesn't stop there. Kidney stones loomed as that acid built up, a silent threat. Add lectins and resistant starches, tough little anti-nutrients, and her gut fermented, bloating her afternoons. "I was a balloon," she sighed, her apron tight. We dug in together. "Let's swap," I said, handing her zucchini, low sugar, gentle on the gut. She grumbled, "Not as sweet," but sautéed it, a green ribbon on her plate. Weeks ticked by. 2, 3, 5. One morning she waved me over, her spade slicing soil, her step light. "I'm me again," she grinned, roses nodding around her. No fog, no ache. Thought I'd lost my garden, she said, her laugh back. Her doctor checked, sugar steady, joints calm, bloating gone. You can dodge this sneak too. Skip peas, try squash or green beans. Feel the sugar fade, the lightness return. Asparagus, the kidney cruncher. Next up, asparagus, the kidney cruncher that sounds like a health hero but bites back hard, even at 75. Picture those slender spears sizzling on your grill. Tender, earthy, a deep green promise of antioxidants and vitamins A, C, E, K. I'd plate them proudly too, thinking I was fortifying my heart, fighting age. But here's the crunch that sneaks in after 50. Asparagus can strain your kidneys, dry you out, and spark joint pain, turning a friend into a foe before you know it. I met Jim, 77, a mechanic whose garage was a symphony of clanks and oil stains, his stories as rugged as his hands. He'd grill asparagus Sundays, fork in hand. Healthy, right? He'd say, chewing slow. But last fall he faltered. Knees hurt, stiff, like rust in the joints. He told me one chilly dusk, his wrench idle on the bench. Tired all the time, dizzy spells too. He'd lean on his truck, catching breath, his spark dimming. Thought it was long hours, he said, his cap low. His doctor saw more. Uric acid climbing, dehydration creeping in. Asparagus? He blinked, stunned. You bet, Jim. That noble veggie was crunching him down. Here's the bite. Asparagus is loaded with purines, compounds that break into uric acid. At 65, 75, 85, your kidneys slow and that acid piles up, settling into joints like grit. For Jim, it meant gout's shadow. Stiffness he'd hobble through, a fire in his knees he blamed on cold floors. Felt like screws tightening, he grunted. Then its diuretic kick. Asparagus flushes water fast, a detox that dehydrates. After 50, your thirst signal dulls. You don't feel parched till it's late. Jim sipped, but not enough. Dizziness hit, muscles cramped, kidneys groaned under the strain. I'd pee all day, still feel off, he said, puzzled. Overworked kidneys risked damage. A silent crunch he didn't hear coming. We shifted gears. Try broccoli, I said. Gentle, hydrating, no purine punch. He shrugged, less fancy, but steamed it, a green crown beside his steak. Weeks rolled. 2, 3, 5. One afternoon he waved, turning a bolt, steady as steel. No crunch, he laughed, his knees quiet, his head clear. Thought I'd lose the garage, he said, his cap high. His doctor nodded, kidneys ease, joints calm. You can uncrunch too. Skip asparagus, sip more, try cauliflower. Feel the strain lift, the steadiness return. Corn, the blood sugar blaster. Now let's tackle corn, the blood sugar blaster that's hiding in plain sight, even at 65. Picture that golden cob steaming on your plate, its sweet kernels bursting under your fork, or a bowl of popcorn crunching through a quiet evening. Pure comfort, right? I'd savor it too, thinking it was a wholesome bite, a gift of fiber and B vitamins. But here's the blast that hits after 50. Corn can rocket your blood sugar, clog your gut, and spark inflammation, turning a cozy staple into a silent wrecker. I met Lena, 70, a seamstress whose singer hummed through decades of dresses and curtains, her fingers nimble as thread. Corn muffins were her ritual, warm, crumbly, a side to her tea. Comfort after a long day, she'd say, her scissors snipping. But last summer, that comfort unraveled. I crash after lunch, legs heavy as lead, joints sore, she told me one humid afternoon. Her needle still, her fabric piled. Stomach's a mess too, bloating, like I've swallowed a rock. She'd slump over her machine, eyes drooping, her rhythm lost. Thought it was the heat, she said, her tea cold. Her doctor saw more. Blood sugar spiking, digestion lagging, inflammation creeping. Corn? She blinked, stunned. Oh yes, Lena, that golden blast. Here's the boom. Corn's high glycemic index, unlike gentle greens, turns to sugar fast, blasting your system. At 65, 75, 85, insulin falters. Lena's spikes left her foggy, her energy crashing, diabetes lurking. I'd eat and fade, she sighed. Then cellulose, its tough outer shell, resists digestion. After 50, enzymes wane. Corn sat heavy, bloating her, gas twisting her afternoons. Felt like a storm inside, she winced. Add omega-6 fats. Too much corn tips the balance, firing up inflammation. Her arthritis flared, knees throbbed, fingers stiffened. Thought it was flour, she said. Nope, corn's triple hit. We stitched a fix. Try quinoa, I said. Light, steady, no blast. She frowned, not as hearty, but cooked it. A fluffy bed for her stew. Weeks wove on. 2, 3, 5. One day she waved, her singer purring, her step calm. No blast, she smiled, scissors flying, joints quiet. Thought I'd lost my thread, she said, her tea warm. Her doctor nodded. Sugar stable, gut eased, inflammation down. You can dodge it, skip corn, try millet or rice, feel the calm settle, the blast fade. Spinach, the stone maker. Let's jolt you with spinach, the stone maker that's a hero turned hazard, even at 85. Imagine blending those dark green leaves into a smoothie, their iron and magnesium promising strength, or wilting them into a skillet, a glow of health on your plate. I'd sip them down too, proud of their brain-boosting, heart-loving rep. But here's the jolt after 50. Spinach packs oxalates that can carve kidney stones and sap your bones, flipping a superfood into a sneaky threat. I met Ed, 82, a fisherman whose rod danced over rivers, his tails as deep as the water. Spinach was his fuel. Keeps me sharp, he'd say, casting long into dusk. But last winter he buckled. Pain, sharp, low, like a hook in my side, he told me one frosty morn, his rod propped by the door. Bones ached too, brittle, like old twigs. He'd wince hauling nets, his strength fading, his river quiet. Thought it was the cold, he said, his cap low. His doctor traced it, oxalates piling in his kidneys, calcium slipping from his bones. Spinach? He gaped, reeling. You bet, Ed, that green jolt. Here's the stab. Spinach's oxalates bind calcium, forming crystals, kidney stones that stab with every move. At 65, 75, 85, kidneys slow, Ed's stones grew, pain flared, infections loomed. Felt like gravel grinding, he groaned. Worse, those oxalates block calcium uptake. Bones weaken, osteoporosis creeps. I'd crack lifting a catch, and he said scared. After 50, you need every mineral. Spinach stole his. Thought it was fish, he muttered. Nope, those leaves were carving him up. We netted a fix. Steam it, I said, heat cuts oxalates. Or swap with arugula, light, safe. He grumbled, no kick, but wilted it, a soft pile with his trout. Weeks cast on, 2, 3, 5. One dawn he waved, rod arcing, pain gone. No stones, he grinned, nets full, bones steady. Thought I'd lose the river, he said, his cap high. His doctor nodded. Kidneys clear, strength up. You can sidestep. Boil spinach, try lettuce. Feel the jolt ease, the steadiness hold. Eggplant, the joint jangler. Next eggplant, the joint jangler that sneaks pain into your days, even at 75. Picture that purple beauty roasting in your oven, soaking up garlic and oil, its texture a Mediterranean dream. I'd slice it thick too, loving its low-calorie charm. But here's the jangle after 50. Eggplant's nightshade solanine can fire up inflammation, and its oxalates pile on kidney risks, turning a delight into a discord you don't hear coming. I met Marge, 79, a quilter whose patchwork told tales, baby blankets, wedding throws, her needle a dance. Eggplant parmesan was her Sunday joy. Warmth, she'd say, her oven humming. But last fall, that dance slowed. Hands hurt, stiff, like they're sewn shut, she told me one rainy noon. Her quilt stalled. Knees swell, guts off too, tight, heavy. She'd pause mid-stitch, wincing, her rhythm frayed. Thought it was the damp, she said, her scissors still. Her doctor saw more, joints inflamed, kidney markers up. Eggplant? She blinked, shocked. Oh yes, Marge, that jangling purple. Here's the clang. Eggplant's solanine, a nightshade toxin, stirs inflammation. At 65, 75, 85, joints stiffen. Solanine lit marges arthritis, hands and knees throbbing. Felt like rusty hinges, she groaned, then oxalates, crystals that stack in kidneys, risking stones. Heavy down there, she said, worried. After 50, your gut and kidneys tire. Eggplant's tough skin added bloating, reflux stinging her nights. Thought it was cheese, she muttered. Nope, those slices were rattling her. We patched it up. Peel it, cook it, I said. Less solanine, softer fibers, or swap with zucchini. Calm, kind. She sighed. Less rich, but grilled it, a green ribbon with her sauce. Weeks stitched on, 2, 3, 5. One day she waved, needle flying, joints quiet. No jangle, she smiled, quilt growing, gut light. Thought I'd lose my thread, she said, her oven warm. Her doctor nodded. Inflammation down, kidneys eased. You can quiet it. Skip eggplant. Try squash. Feel the peace settle, the jangle fade. Potatoes, the sugar bomb. Now potatoes, the sugar bomb that comforts but crashes, even at 65. Imagine mashing those creamy spuds, their steam rising, or frying them crisp. Pure joy on your tongue. I'd heap them high too, savoring their cozy fill. But here's the boom after 50. Potatoes blast your blood sugar and spark inflammation with acrylamides, turning a warm hug into a hidden explosion. I met Tom, 84, a poet whose verses flowed like rivers, his chair a perch for words. Fries were his muse. Joy, he'd say, dipping them hot, his pen alive. But last spring, that muse faded. Tired fast, brain fog, joints burn, he told me one gray dawn, his notebook blank. Feel heavy too, like I'm sinking. He'd pause mid-line, winded, his spark dim. Thought it was late nights, he said, his ink dry. His doctor traced it, sugar spiking, inflammation up, nerves aching. Potatoes? He gaped, stunned. Yep, Tom, that's starchy bomb. Here's the burst. Potatoes' high glycemic index, unlike carrots, floods sugar fast. At 65, 75, 85, insulin lags. Tom's spikes left him foggy, energy bombed, diabetes near. I'd eat and slump, he sighed, then fried acrylamides, chemicals from heat, ignite inflammation. Joints felt like coals, he groaned. Arthritis flared, nerves twitched. After 50, your body fights harder. Potatoes weighed him down. Thought it was oil, he muttered. Nope, that spud was blasting him. We rewrote it. Boil sweet potatoes, I said. Lower sugar, no acrylamides, a gentle glow. He grumbled. Not as crisp, but mash them. Orange warmth with his soup. Weeks rhymed on. 2, 3, 5. One morn he waved, pen flying, legs light. No bomb, he grinned, verse flowing, joints calm. Thought I'd lost my lines, he said, his ink wet. His doctor nodded. Sugar steady, inflammation eased. You can diffuse. Skip potatoes, try yams, feel the calm rise, the boom fade. Kale, the thyroid trickster. Here's a jaw-dropper. Kale, the thyroid trickster that's hyped but sly, even at 85. Picture juicing those rugged leaves, their vitamin C and calcium a green elixir, or baking them crisp, health in every bite. I'd crunch them too, chasing their anti-inflammatory glow. But here's the trick after 50. Kale's goitrogens can stall your thyroid, and its oxalates stack kidney stones, flipping a darling into a deceiver. I met Clara, 81, a nurse whose care warmed wards, her smile a balm. Kale chips were her snack. Health, she'd say, munching by her tea. But last winter, she dulled. Cold all the time, foggy, legs drag, she told me one icy dusk, her mug cold. Kidneys ached too, like a pinch. She'd shuffle charts, lost, her warmth fading. Thought it was long shifts, she said, her scarf tight. Her doctor saw more. Thyroid lagging, kidney markers up. Kale, she gasped, floored. Oh yes, Clara, that tricky green. Here's the slight. Kale's goitrogens block iodine. Thyroid hormones fade. At 65, 75, 85. Metabolism slows. Clara's cold crept. Fog thickened. Weight stuck. Felt like winter inside, she shivered. Then oxalates. Crystals that pile in kidneys. Sharp down low, she winced. Stones threatened. Pain loomed. After 50, kidneys tire. Kale piled on. Thought it was salt, she muttered. Nope, that leaf was tricking her. We flipped it. Cook it, I said. Heat cuts go at Trojans. Or swap with romaine. Soft, safe. She sighed. No crunch. But sautéed it, a green bed with her fish. Weeks nursed on. 2, 3, 5. One day she waved, humming, warm, steady. No trick, she beamed, tea steaming, kidneys calm. Thought I'd fade, she said, her scarf loose. Her doctor nodded. Thyroid up, stones eased. You can outsmart. Skip kale, try chard, feel the fog lift. The trick vanish. Bell peppers, the Silent Scorcher. Finally the twist. Bell peppers, the Silent Scorcher that burns quiet, even at 75. Imagine chopping those bright reds and yellows, their crunch a burst of vitamin C and beta-carotene, a rainbow on your plate. I'd dice them too, loving their flavor in every stew. But here's the scorch after 50. Peppers solanine can inflame your joints, and their tough skins sting your gut. A hidden heat you don't feel till it flares. I met Lila, 83, a baker whose loaves rose like art, her kitchen a haven of yeast and spice. Peppers were her daily chop. Flavor, she'd say, her knife quick. But last summer she winced. Joints flare. Hot, tight, she told me one still noon, her oven off. Guts a knot too, acid burning up. She'd knead slow, grimacing, her dough flat. Thought it was flour, she said, her apron limp. Her doctor saw more. Joints inflamed, reflux spiking. Peppers? She blinked, reeling. Yep, Lila, that Silent Scorch. Here's the sear. Peppers solanine, a nightshade spark, stokes inflammation. At 65, 75, 85, joints tire. Lila's arthritis burned, wrists and knees swelling. Felt like embers, she groaned. Then tough skins, fibers that churn digestion. After 50, acid wanes. Reflux stung her nights, bloating her days. Burned all evening, she sighed. Thought it was bread, she muttered. Nope, those colors were scorching her. We cooled it. Roast, peel, I said. Less sting. Or swap with carrots. Sweet, calm. She huffed. No snap, but baked them. An orange glow with her rolls. Weeks baked on. 2, 3, 5. One day she waved, kneading, steady, gut quiet. No scorch, she smiled. Loaves high, joints cool. Thought I'd lose my oven, she said, her apron crisp. Her doctor nodded. Inflammation down, digestion eased. You can cool. Skip peppers, try roots, feel the peace settle, the scorch fade. Here's your lesson. Your plate's not your foe, it's your power. Peas spike, asparagus crunches, corn blasts, spinach stones, eggplant jangles, potatoes bomb, kale tricks, peppers scorch, 8 risks you can dodge. Cook smart, swap wise, your kidneys, joints, energy, thank you. Like, subscribe, comment your shock. Let's keep you thriving. See you next time.